Welcome everyone to Manor Lords Demo. This is Gamer 1745, and we're playing the Manor Lords Demo, a very early, rough version of Manor Lords. I hope you'll all stick around and see how this goes. But before we jump into it, if you're new here, please smash or lick either one. You can smash or lick the like button. And, well, if you're new here, you can also smash or lick the subscribe button, but everyone can lick the like button because it's tasty. It's tasty indeed. So, yes. Also, hey, if you got questions, comments, suggestions, either gameplay or history or anything like that, nothing special, but I do tweet on Twitter back and forth with the dev, whatever. So if there's anything you have feedback-wise, I would gladly pass it on. But I'd also love to hear your thoughts. And like I said in the first two, this is going to be the third, I believe, episode of me playing this demo. This is more of how much am I going to like or love the game, because everything I've seen about it and where they're planning on going with this is great. This is such an early build of it that we can't even save. There is no save game function, so I've just been pausing like I am right now in between making these episodes. So that's where we're at with this. And so there's rough things, and so rough things I'm commenting on are not a criticism, just pointing out what is going on. Okay, so we've done the second set of build of tasks, build a well and 5 plots to live in. So we're going to get new message. Okay, as you walk the perimeter surveying your village with pride, a woman walks past you. She is bent nearly double under a sack. You ask how long she's been walking. She tells you it takes her half a day now to get all of the goods she needs for her family from the hunters and farmers that surround the village. If only there was a marketplace where your people could acquire food, clothing, and firewood, they would be happier and have more time for other work. Okay. So get to level 2 of the Burgagate plot. If you've watched the earlier episodes, I'm not used to that word. Before get it to level 2, a food stall, a firewood stall, and a clothing stall. Okay, so let's see about doing some of that. Now, I'm seeing the tasks here. But what I'm worried about here, and I know we're in July now, we have not enough food to go for very long. So what I'm going to actually start and see about building, because I think I have enough let's move it a little more. Okay, we don't want to uproot too many trees. We'll move it a little more over here.
Let's get to work.
A meat gathering, hunting camp. We have this guy. They go a long ways out here, but I didn't really want to build deep in the forest. I wanted to put it along the route for the foragers, but we're going to do this because I want to get more going. I don't know that we're ready yet to start planting crops in the fields or a farm. Crops that are transported to the farm, and wheat is threshed into grain. Wheat. Okay. And I don't know if we should be doing any of that yet, but I guess they would sort of warn me if I'm supposed to, or direct me if I'm supposed to, but I think we're going to do more food oriented operations here. Okay, so we've got 5 peasant families of 13 people. So first they've got to, okay, well what we're going to do here is we're going to assign another person to here temporarily so that we gather more food to the granary, while somebody continues to move the logs from the logging camp or the storage location to our hunting lodge. No workers, work priority number 1, but I think we need to get, yeah, that transported over. First, and maybe we'll temporarily at least add another person, maybe? Okay, maybe we don't have, we can't find it immediately, so. Guys are going to come and work on it, but we need to get his unassigned guiding ox. Well, guide the ox over and get some wood to get over to the forestry thing. This is pretty, you know, you walk through here as opposed to, you know, it's doing that as opposed to having an opening here. I don't know if I should have paid more attention to the direction of the house for entry and exit, but it's, and you're sort of they're walking through this building here, it looks like a lean-to. Okay, so we're starting to construct here. Okay, we've got our 3 out of 5 possible. 3 has been about normal for most construction projects. Where are you going with that thing? Oh, you're going to the storehouse, probably. Yes. Oh, construction finished. Okay, so let's add a person here. Well, did we ever get a person here? No, we haven't. So what I'm going to do here is reduce minus down 1 person. Hopefully that will give us person over here. Yes, okay. Good. So 1 less person hustling stuff between locations, fine. Okay, now, upgrade. So we need 4 logs to upgrade. But you know what I think we're going to see about doing first? I don't know that order is village life, well, market area, food stall. Okay, okay, so what I think we need to do is sort of create a market area here. By that. this to rotate. I don't know if this is too big of an area, 'cause it's looking awfully big. Oh, shit. No, 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 no. No, 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 no. Demolish. Demolish. Okay. Oh, no, demolish. I thought this was to hold to... Oh, rotate with the mat. Okay. I was using the wheel. We'll do it. Sort of haphazardly medieval there. Okay, that's where you hang the animal up. Normally by its heels with its head down, and you cut its throat and you drain the blood out. You'd probably capture the blood, and then you gut the animal again, try to get the guts to then create you know, meat pies or whatnot with that, and then you take the intestines, well, or you're going to create sausages, you know, with the guts and whatnot. If you sort of chop them up, grind them up, put them with some preservatives, spices, or whatever. Those spices were limited, so I'm not quite sure just what they were using, because nothing like pepper was here. You don't know how rich you all are. If you're watching this video, you are rich, people. Rich, rich indeed. You realize that pepper used to be worth more than gold per weight. That's how valuable pepper was, and they didn't even have it yet. That was more Renaissance period. So, but there were some things they could do. And so they would use the intestines as the casings for the various meat, including parts of the animal that you're sort of scraping meat off the bone that's not, you know, too big a chunks. Though some of that, of course, would be used as stew, you know. And the meat would be fairly tough, so a lot of it might just be, you know, turned into, you know, chopped up instead of used as some sort of steak-like idea. We see the gatherer dragging his kill in. Looks like a stag, yeah, has antlers. Oh, I say he would have cut the throat first. With a bowl down, or they would have a different sort of catches here, you know, to catch the blood first, because like you can use that, that has calories in it. And then as all the stuff, the offal or what not you want to call it, is coming out of the animal as they're gutting it, would collect it down below, and then you get into the skinning of it and all that kind of stuff. Okay, we now have 15 people here instead of 13, which I'm worried about food. That's why we increased over here. We are already eating, right? Well, what are we? Okay, so we have our marketplace, our food stall. The road network well. I'm searching for a person. Table idle. Well, maybe reduce that down by 1. And that would get, yeah, somebody over here now. Okay, let's turn that off. Now, I don't know at this stage of development how much, yeah, people really wouldn't be paying too much for, or wouldn't be paying anything for food, in my opinion. At this stage, if you would like somehow expanded into new land, as I said before, that would be a very, very rare thing in Europe. But now, if this is post pandemic of the Black Death, you definitely had whole villages disappear and areas go completely unoccupied because you had huge amounts of the population die off. There's a lot of various dynamics going on there, but and then as the Black Death is getting over, you're then having population come back up, and so you very well could be moving into an area that had been at one time inhabited, but it had been 30, 50 years, I don't know, and so you're moving into an area fresh. The food, your housing, it all belongs to the Lord, to this guy up here. Everything belongs to him. And in fact, in a way, you belong to him. Though you have rights after a fashion, but you can't just run away. You have obligations. He has obligations, you have obligations. It goes back and forth. And so, since we don't currently have a farming or whatever sort of agricultural situation here, you don't really you've got to communally deal with your food in the hunter and the gatherer here, forager, whatever, goes out and we're gonna cut him down, I think. You can leave the log there, good. What we're going to do is we're going to build a firewood, or okay, firewood stall. Not liking me moving it around the way I want to move it in. Oh, it's probably too big. But and so it would be more food allotted. What you would find is very likely some of the first things would happen would not be creating these little homesteads or home plots, is you'd be creating equivalent of a great hall of some sort. And a lot of great halls were wooden. And people would just live there. I mean, everybody would just live in the great hall. And we're talking early stages here. So they would eat. So the food would be provided to you in the great hall. you would bed down in the Great Hall, including the guy in charge. Now, he might have a nice, cool corner of it, you know, at first. And so it'd be very communal sort of living in these early stages. And meals would just be, and now your status as to the, how good your meals would be, you know, does matter, but I wouldn't say it would be a market at this point. And the idea that there's 15 people living here. You very well, of course, can have somebody, hey, yeah, you can actually, you know, shoot an arrow and hit something. Yeah, okay, you're the hunter. Go do it. You know. Okay, so they have some meat, berries. Okay, so we have requirement not yet met. We've got water, we've got fuel. I think it's the clothing we've yet to meet. So I'm not sure. Get the firewood stall going. Okay, now we're back to 3 months of food. Good. I don't know that the meat is, the hunting is seasonal. It may be year-round, where this is seasonal. Resource, let's see, hover over. Your wild animals, okay. Not seasonal, I guess. Good. Last us through the winter. And let's build a clothing stall. Yeah, I think we built this market area too big, but like I said, this is the very first time I've ever played the game. And there was no real, I mean, there may have been a video up in time, but I didn't know of one. Didn't even check. Thank you, the developers of Manor Lords, for the early access to the key to be able to make this demo. I know it's going, the demo's going to go live, or maybe has gone live by the time you're seeing this, but they gave me slightly, I think, earlier access because I'm so important. Oh yes, I'm important. I talk on the interwebs. You didn't get it, that's being sarcastic. I don't think I'm so important. But I'm feeling more comfortable about that. Do we... Okay. Industry. Nothing, malt house. Weaver shop? Do we need weaver? No, we're not getting anywhere near that. Clothing stall. See, I quite honestly, and I'm not just talking about the 15 people in this village, but I quite honestly can't imagine outside of a burger, a big town, the idea that they're selling clothing. Cloth, yes. Clothing, no. There very well could be, and it'd probably be a woman, but there very well could be a few that are known for making clothing a bit better than other people, so that you may bring the cloth to them and have them make your clothing, but I don't think it would be a full-time endeavor. I think a lot of the clothing was very loose, so it's not like fitted to you. Well, I think we need to do also here is we have a well, but the well's way over here, but I think, okay, so, gathering, what we need to do is a woodcutter's lodge. Do that, that'll get us our firewood for this. Here we have our here meat. Don't know what that's supposed to be. Some bread and some blueberries. So we're gonna run out of bread soon. Oh. Okay. Weaver's Workshop, flax, cannery, malt house, trade goods, livestock trading post. Okay, well, I've got those operating. We're gonna get firewood cutting going next. Okay, and we see here Emmer fertility. What is Emmer? Is that supposed to be farmer? Emmer. Don't know. Wheat, and I see barley, flax, rye. Smell. Overlay. Here's what I'm looking at overlays. They used to employ peasants on the fields. Farm workers plow the fields as soon as the winter passes, then sow them with the chosen crop, harvest them in September. Yeah, so this is going to take a long time to go. So we really need to just continue to upgrade our everything here, it seems like. What we okay, well, let's well, rye, emmer, flax. Well, flax looks like it's sort of over here and over there. do... So, emmer. Okay, I guess emmer's sweet. Okay, now we know what emmer is. It's sweet. We're gonna, do flax. Crop type there. Emmer is sweet. And it's probably based on the language of the developers, and they just haven't gotten that over there. I'm trying to get clothing. I don't know, maybe we should be trading for clothing. Firewood we're gonna hopefully get with once this place gets up and going. And now back to here. Okay, we have our field there. Let's look at our delete. Wheat fertility. Okay, we don't want to, we would prefer not to actually put our physical layout on a fertile ground. So that's where we want to put that. Priority. Highest priority? No. I don't know if we're going up or... I mean, I'm hitting the up arrow, but... No. Build.
Is that this sun or fire above?
Got a lot of workers working here. All right. Find one person to work at that.
Heaven shine down and grow the land. Is that this sun or fire above?
Nothing to sell, no one working there. Again. And when we get this built, it will give us housing for one family. That would mean an additional family to the area, which I can see is both good, more family here, bad, more mouths to feed. Currently, we have 5 families with 15 people. I guess a woman, a husband, and a, old enough child, presumably male, because that's what they're specifying, but one, that can work. And now let's look. Timber fertility. Okay, well. So you're about to run out of timber and block yourself. Make sure you have a woodcutter camp before placing more buildings. Got it. Good. And we do have that there. Not enough workforce yet, but okay. Well, cancel there, yeah. Cancel. see about how that goes. Okay, cancel the project. And we do have a logging camp, but we don't have anybody working at it. Okay, so let's see if we can get somebody to work at the logging camp. A bunch of firewood there. So, well, this, I don't know how far we're going to get into this, because I see that this is 1700 days. I presume that that's not minutes. Well, maybe it's a minute per day at this speed, but we don't have the ability to save it. But I may pause and do some other things and come back to it, see if it's stable enough. But I hope this is giving you all a very good look at the game, letting you know what it is. Like I say, for me, it's really seeming to be a case of how much do I like or love the game, and right now I like it, from what I'm seeing. I really do like it. I love the graphics. I love the attention to detail. Yes, I'm pointing out things like, I don't know if they had, I've not ever seen the idea of a outhouse in the Middle Ages. Where they pooped, yeah, I'm not going to go too much there. I don't always know, you know, but, and some other elements that I'm very unsure of, like the idea of having a food stall. I would, in this sort of case, and I know, again, this is, and they do have different starts, though the other two starts were locked on this game, but this is sort of the economic kind of building. But I would still see a, you know, Manor Lords, a building with a great hall that could very well start out as a timber structure and then be upgraded over time, you know, to stone and you know, eventually walls put around it in different stages, you know, but a sort of central communal living status that is where most people are being fed. And even once they get housing like this, you would, at least this is my understanding, and in such a small community that is owned by him. These are not, this is not capitalism. This is way pre-capitalism. Yes, there are market forces, but this is not any sort of capitalism. This is not socialism, as we would say, but it is communalism, shall we say. Not communism, but communalism, in that you're living communally. Not equally, not, you know, everyone gets an equal share. Not at all. And so even though you may have at some point individual living homes, that doesn't mean you don't get your main meal of the day from the Great Hall. Or you wouldn't get your, say, weekly, not bread, no, not at this stage, but you get your weekly wheat allowance that then, normally it was the woman of the household, would daily grind up some of that wheat into flour and make some bread daily. And so, and yes, there would also be food products that would be made that would last longer than the day and that they would be working on. But it would be more divvying up food resources as time goes on. But it seems like currently we're doing okay with food from hunting and gathering, so I wanted to try to achieve the goal of having cloth being sold, because I'm guessing that is part available to be able to upgrade the town. Here, though, we're going to lose wheat or bread eventually without that. I'm going to see if, because this I do believe, if I'm remembered, in general, that this supplies one household similar to those little household plots, you know, of living space for somebody. Okay, so realize this construction is being done not with saws, but with axes and adze and similar sorts of tools for cutting. And not to say that they don't have any saws, they do have some, but they wear out quick. And a lot of the shaping and cutting is done by axes and adze, and they're very good at it, including making these square things. These would be shaped with axes and adze, not with saws so much, but fairly rare. And then that's why planking is rather rare. And a lot of that would be done by splitting. They would look on this and then put a bunch of series of wedges along it and hammer them in and split the wood along the grain to create some of this stuff. And nails, iron nails. I'm not saying it wouldn't be used. You could, but it's more of a situation of it. We need more lumber, I presume, and here it comes. Okay, good. I did add a person back to working in the lumber mill to make sure that we continue to have some coming in, I hope. But he may be out there cutting it down, I don't know, or maybe we have some over here. We still only have one oxen, dude. How do we get more oxen? Buy them? Can't grow them. You can grow cows, but not oxen. From other oxen, I mean, meaning cows can give birth to male bovines, and then you castrate the male bovine at a young age, and then you train it to be a work animal instead of just a beast in the field that you're going to slaughter one day. But yes, once it gets old enough, you slaughter it for meat. Yeah, meaning it gets a bit too old to do its job, and you've got another replacement ready to go. This way out here, so it's taking a long to get the wood, so these workers are going to then turn around and come right back to finish this up. Okay, goods transported 2 of 5, so this will be number 3, or is this number 2? Looks like we're getting... No, I got that whole building over there or something to make, I don't know. I guess we can fast forward a bit. We've got I like the slow pace of the game, but this is just so slow, so. And I do like the idea that these wheat fields and whatnot are very seasonal. right, yeah, what is it? September. So hopefully get these things ready for springtime for planting. And I'm hoping that when this is done, we'll attract another family here, which will increase the population, but it will, well, you know, meaning more food needing. But we've gone up to, okay, so we've got 4 months. So currently, with our current between hunting and gathering and whatever remains of our little bit of bread, which is least popular, seems, we're increasing the food levels for the 15 people, so that means we can probably continue increasing our population here. I'd like to put one field into wheat production as well as the flax. And so firewood stall, well, we haven't got anybody working there yet, but we would have firewood if we did, because we do a fire thing. We don't have any clothing unless we do a trading post, and that does have trade cloth from somewhere. We do have some supplies over here, storage 20. We've yet to face a winter. We're slowly putting in storage limit, hunting camp. Okay, well, what we're going to do is reduce down the workload then, so that they can haul what they have over to granary, which is way under compared to possible. Another log, it looks like, maybe, or just workers to come back to work. You know, because we've got logs sitting here, so I think it's waiting for another. So is this a home or a barn? I think with that big door, yeah, going through, that's got to be a barn of some sort for storing your crop. I was going to say wheat, but it include flax and whatever else, and that looks like it's going to be your and we can see the reasons for concentrating living conditions. And I guess we could have built that farmhouse over in here somewhere, but then daily to whatever work in the field you would have to troop out to here, where here the farmer comes from here to there, back and forth. I was thinking about putting another farm over there, which would be a bit of a walk. And you just have to go maybe daily, somebody else, to go pick up stuff at the markets and whatnot, but okay, so that's got all the wood it needed. Here, transported goods. Now it's just up to them to build it. I like that it is going to be, because when they plank it out, it looks like it'll be more or less flat floored, but it, you know, sort of, since it's on a little bit of a slope, did that instead of somehow artificially flattening out the land one way or another. They made it fit. Well, that is a bit of a step up there. Maybe they could in future make steps to go there. I don't know. Again, these are just comments, not complaints, because this is still very early days. Okay, well, we can have a lot of workforce here. Let's try to get at least somebody here. There's nothing here to do yet because I think that from the description here, use wages, peasants, farm workers, so we sheep farm. I thought we saw something that was said that it was equal to housing, but maybe I'm mistaken. I don't know. Okay, well, since I don't know, what we're gonna do here is create another one of these. No. This road connection point. Nope. There we go. That's what we should. I should have done that better there. And should have done better at that. We're growing in food, so okay. Crop type 74, present yield, field status, plowing progress. In October. Yeah, the game and maybe recording it and whatnot is definitely making my CPU and GPU work. Keep that in mind. Oh, and I have a 3080 Ti as a GPU and a Core i7 8700K, so older 8th gen CPU, Intel CPU, so it's not so new where the graphics card is. Just to let you guys sort of know the, if you will, the stats and maybe requirements for playing this game. Don't know how to get more livestock. Okay, maybe pause. Okay, pasture. Provide grazing space for sheep. Without enough space they won't breed. Breeding requires sheep breeding development branch. Okay. Sheep farm. Flour, bread. Now they should. Okay. That is a high-tech, advanced condition for the Middle Ages. That building that you see there, the one right here in there. That building is built up on a stand. It can be rotated to face into the wind to run that windmill. So I don't know how many places would have had that as a workable condition, because grindstones, millstones are big and heavy, and you need a lot of steady wind. Now they can, and you're not going to be like rotating it by the minute or something like that, or even by the hour necessarily. But if the day's prevailing wind is in one direction versus another, you could rotate that around. But that is very high tech. A lot more often, mills, at least as my knowledge and experience, would be water mills. Taking a stream or a river, but something like that, and turning that into milling power, a grist mill. But probably, I don't know. I was going to say a huge amount of grain was done daily on a grindstone in a house. So they'd have sacks of grain. They'd often hang them from the ceiling, or from the roof in there, or put them into a well-constructed box, just to keep animals out, whether little pests or rats or mice or whatever. You try to keep them out and keep the grain that way, and then daily grind the flour. So that would be the daily grind, and that's where that term comes from. It is a fancy situation in which you have a mill. Now, and it can probably vary on region, but even if you have access to a mill is going to cost you. You don't get to use the mill for free. The mill normally takes a percentage of the flour that is ground. So you bring in, like, I don't know, 10%, 20%. I don't know what the percent would be. And then the mill is normally owned by the landowner, the noble or whatever. They're not all owners are noble, but they do exist. And the bread would be baked in the home. That of various types, and a lot of it might be sort of flat bread type things, not necessarily big fluffy loaves of bread. So that is what is I would say those two conditions are most common. Where you would find a I know if you go back to the Roman era, pan et circenses. Pan is bread, and circuses. That's how the elites kept the populace in Rome happy. The working poor, the bread dole, and get to go to the circuses. Keep them entertained. The circuses are racing circuits, not animals jumping through hoops. They also obviously did some of that, but they did a lot of course, animals fighting people or animals fighting animals. In the Colosseum is famous, but in arenas too. But the popular thing was not. That was sort of secondary. Was the fighting in the arenas that we marvel on because it's so different in our societies. But it was really the chariot races were the big thing. So you have that, and okay, so a lot of those people in Rome lived in high-rise buildings that had no ability to cook in them, or almost no ability to cook in them. And so that they would, down on the ground floor of those high-rise buildings, there would be equivalent of sort of fast food restaurants. But they would cook your food for you. So if, you could bring your grain dole, it's as much or whatever down to there. Instead of handing out the bread, they often handed out grain, because you would take the grain, put it in your apartment, again, try to store it, get it ground up periodically, and get it baked in the ovens down in on the ground floor of your building. If you had meat of some sort, they would cook it down there, and you take it up to your apartment to eat it. Or you could get they weren't necessarily hamburgers like we think of them, ground beef in between two pieces of bread, but there was definitely a hamburger patty like thing. I forget what it was called, that was quite popular. And then of course fish with garum sauce on it was also very popular. or dried fish and whatnot. And you get these things down in sort of the fast food restaurants at the ground floor of your building in which you live. Now that's in a highly urbanized setting. So here, these two things are luxury items to me, not requirements to get bread, but we'll see how the game works. And the game, from everything that I've been following on Twitter and commenting about things, they really take history really well. So this I don't know if they'll ever watch my video, but these things, like I say, I don't know. Now, to get enough to feed armies, this is why this guy here, and feed the actual household of the manor, and to if you're going up to castles and other things. Castles are administrative and productive centers, as well as military and housing for the the noble and his staff. To get people into doing other jobs, you need these kinds of things. So for either urban centers or for be able to support your military, these kinds of things would be needed. But a lot of people are living on small margins, and they've got more and more babies to feed and other things like that. So they'd just rather grind the daily bread, the daily wheat into flour and cook it up daily, or every other day or something, because bread might last a day or whatever. But that is still a thing. So okay, what I'm just looking here as to, so I do want to get another field, but we need more people in here. I was hoping that would get people in. We'll see how it works. Trading post. Yeah, I don't know if we're ready for that. I wish I had another livestock thing. That's sort of where all this started. Okay. Okay, so we just got this built. Environment not yet. Okay, so I guess it's just the food. We haven't got the clothing or... Guess that's for water and fuel. Is met. Okay, storage limit reached. Okay. Good. What we're going to do is hit the minus, and you're going to lose your job there. Let's add you over here. Maybe you'll move firewood to the firewood stall. Okay, so far this, I thought I saw somewhere that this was equal to a housing facility as well, with that farmhouse there. That's definitely a farmhouse for living in, where this is like a barn, and that's well, I guess a shed area for animals, maybe, or in human carts or something. I don't know. We built another one over here. Generic people. Total living space. Okay, I guess it's not a living space. I thought I read that farmhouse was a living space, but maybe not. I don't know. And so people. Okay, so Hans, Barbara, and Oat. Hi, Oat. How are you doing, Oat? People. Okay. Peter, Christina, and another Hans. Yeah, these gotta be Germans. Heinz. A Guntland and a Thomas. And a Peter, oh, God. Kluntgut. Hey, Kluntgut. You look beautiful, Kluntgut. What a romantic language German is. Kluntgut. She's the Kluntgut of my eye. I don't know. Kluntgut is so Lovely. Or maybe she looks like a Kuntgut. And it's like, oh god, who gets to marry Kuntgut? Okay. And Buns, Gahans, and Ditz. Hey, Ditz. And back to without. Okay, another burger plot. I don't know if this is designed not to attract more people, even though we may have total living spaces here. But oh no, we now okay. We've gone up to 16. We have Endres. Endres has showed up. He's transporting. Okay, so now we've gotten to more people. I want to be able to plant these. Well, we're not going to burn the crops, well, because we're not having wars here. But total field workers. No. Okay. Let's +1. I don't know. Maybe he can. Pantry limit has been reached. Not there. Okay, here. Not here. I don't know. Logs. I'm not sure where that is. Build more granaries. Employ more granary workers. Okay. Well, guess not just yet. Have a worker over here who's now out of meat, but they've got blueberries and still a little bit of. And we can put somebody back into working here, which we stopped because. Let's reduce that down to 15. I don't want to overhunt just yet when we get back to hunting. Now that we've done this, let's come over here. Okay, that got us to another person, so okay, well, how interesting. Yeah, let's do this. Road access obstructed. Okay, well, okay, let's cancel this. No. Demolish this. Okay, let's come back to here. Now, oh, okay, we need to demolish. Click on this. Okay. That is... No. Pause this one, figure this out. Okay, okay, now what we need to do is... Oh, I like that. Go for it, so yeah. About 17, so we get 2 more. Ah! Ender's got Agnes. Okay, not as bad as Flint Gut, but maybe not terribly. We need the Forager's Hut. Okay, workplace empty. Okay, we are, this is seasonal, so minus, you go get another job. Let's see, I think we will move you over to hunting. Keep food coming in. Alright, well, I think we're going to end this episode here. I really wish I could save the game. I think I may play a few more episodes. I'm playing all this at once, so I have not seen any feedback from viewers. But so please post questions, comments, suggestions, tips, even if it's not going to help this playthrough. If you've seen somebody else how to do something better, please post it for me and for others to learn about it, because that would be a good thing. So, and, you know, like I say, I hope I've earned you licking that like button. So thanks, everyone. See you next time for more, yes, more historical gaming.